Hi, my name is David, and I am part of the developer of, sort of me and a charity. It's not really a charity. So when you're going to share something or do something and your mind goes blank, it's probably because I've gone completely away from where I was going to go. I'm David Soul-Gounder, and welcome to my live channel here on YouTube. And I just wanted to do a bit of a video upon synchronicity and the weaving of time and how strands come together to create things. It's not too long to come, and it will be a 3-year anniversary in recovery, which is an amazing achievement and something I do feel proud of, and a growing sense of dignity and respect with it. But life's been tricky for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Well, not really 2 or 3 weeks, but the last week with an awful lot of change with my own care program, with the way that I'm living my life, the practices that I'm trying out at the moment. But what's been quite magical was today I went with another gentleman to do a part of an outreach part of one of my fellowships, and it was great to connect with another person. And the amazing part of it is that the gentleman who I went with was the very first person that I met when I joined one of the fellowships that I belonged to, and it was really quite amazing as I went to go and talk to this other chap who share similarities, share common interests, both have a physical condition. And, through that process, it was around this time 3 years ago that things were really going wrong with my drinking, and I'd start the slow process for which I then went to my very first meeting and meeting this gentleman and being with this gentleman on my very first ever outreach 12-step call. And that first meeting, I then was to meet another disabled guy that was also in the fellowship, which was really amazing as well. And meeting that person made me feel really, really comfortable and at ease. And I hope that, by meeting this chap today, that same thing will have happened for him. And being a part of it was really quite special. I've been praying and asking for teachers and experiences to come along to help me develop and learn and grow. And so it just felt like no coincidence that here I am with this gentleman meeting another gentleman and having this common interest, seeking a maintenance of a solution that we live in, and by helping another person find their spiritual access point or their awakening. And I just think it's magical, nearly 3 years, to the day. And I'm with this next chap, meeting another chap who happens to be disabled as well. And it's just like, gee whiz, how amazing is that creation of God, or that creation of the universe that brings people into your life, that bring lessons into your life in order to help you evaluate where you are within yourself, and to demonstrate to others the knowledge and experiences that you've gained from working a spiritual program or a spiritual practice. And we use these words, or I use these words, as a spiritual practice, but can mean different things to different people. But for me, it's a routine. It's a structure for which I connect to that vibrant part within me that connects to that vibrant part outside of me. Whether that's through chakras and meditation, whether that's through nature walks and sit spots, whether that's through yoga and swimming, whatever your creative link to connect, to access that is outside of you and that which is inside of you. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I got back from doing that that 12-step call to get home and to know that the care was going to be in place, that I've done a list ready for my PA to be able to tidy around the flat, and be empowered by delegating those sections of my life that I struggle with, and actually taking and accepting help, and finding actually that is the empowering option. Instead of struggling to do these things, by accepting the help, it's empowering me. I'm lifted of a burden that I physically struggle to do. And that gives me the opportunities to have that strength, to do these things, to have that passion to connect with others, to have that drive to live vibrantly within what I now identify as my path, to connect to others, to share my experience, to share my hopes, to share my sadness. And, 2 people came over that I hadn't seen for about 3 months. And it was amazing to experience where they were in their journey, to meet with them at that point, and in essence step out and away from some of the stuff that I am, and to be with them where they were, and to listen to their story, to their experience, to hear their struggle and to connect with their struggle, knowing that the difficulties of relationships, of sharing an energetic space. It doesn't need to be these big words of energetic space. It can be to share space, to be in company with another, to love another person within the same room, to live structured lives around work, their work, your work, and to come together as one unit and talk. And for me to be who I am, to be this now with you, and to be the same person with those 2 people, and to feel comfortable in my skin, to feel comfortable in my mind, to feel the love of my heart, to feel the energy of my masculine and feminine chakras opening and connecting with each person, enjoying the conversation for the fact that they're enjoying talking about it, stuff that hasn't come naturally to me, that I've worked on or continue to work on, to continue to practice that spiritual practice, that maintenance, that growth. It's just so different to a life of thinking, how do I impress them? How do I control this conversation? How do I not be in my comfort zone? How do I defend myself? How do I put physical, mental, and energetic barriers around me? To flow, to work with spirit, to work with energy, to open up, to feel invigorated by being honest, to the emotion of being in neutral, but sharing with passion, sharing with that love, and illustrating the change. Instead of talking about the change, saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get up and I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to walk to the bus instead of driving, but to actually actively demonstrate it and be it is very different than, the token showing up at the meeting, or the token hour of God of good grace within a church service, or the one person you say nice things to. Not that any of this is wrong or not good to practice, just to try and be it more than just on occasions, as a way of life, as a vocation, as a calling, honouring that connection, hoping to empower the other person to find their connection. Not find their connection, but to be where they are and be all right with it, and not to be judging where they're at with it. To, I hear this word, to hold space, to be open to receiving, and I kind of get that. I get what people mean by it, but to be, I suppose I don't understand what that means in some way. But to be neutral and to be passively listening, to allow it to flow around me, to not attach to it, to not interpret it, for it to just be what they are being, it's kind of cool, It's kind of different. And this is coming at the end of the day where, the morning and getting up took quite a long time. I was in quite a lot of pain yesterday, and the day before that. And, I'm still recovering from driving and other things. And to have a discipline that stays structured, to be working energetically with people, and maintaining my own sense of self, my own sense of boundary, whilst loving, or being as loving as I can be, it's kind of cool, kind of really different. And for me, it's not me physically, just me. It's not just me, my soul, or me energetically, but it's that flows through me from spirit guides, those that are on either side of me. It's that energy that flows through my chakras that's connecting, I hope, in a neutral, healing way for those people around me, to openly accept that actually me as being autistic, me as being disabled, is a mechanism catalyst, is a catalyst of hopefully a healing environment, working with that energy around. And now I lost the point there a little bit, but just being who you are is a catalyst. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm feeling it out. Shut that aside. Being that, I was going to say, it's like if you were to defend your point of view, passionately in Parliament, this is who I am, and and this is why I believe that, and you demonstrate that authority and wisdom and charismatic energy of yourself, doing that in quite a different way, instead of being hostile or pushing or threatening or cajoling or manipulating, or to maneuver somebody to your wavelength, to just be your own wavelength, to just be who you are, in the sense that this is what I love. I love flowers. Why do you love flowers? I love the colour, I love the fragrance, I love the structure of the petals, I love the way that the stem connects to the flower head, I love the way that it starts from something very small and slowly grows, and it has this birthing, and the phases of shamanic death and rebirth happen within in the seed life. It starts one and it grows more seeds. That is beautiful. Oh. And I have that about areas of my life, accepting my disability as what it is. It's a catalyst of change, not just for myself, but those around me. Being autistic, I believe, is an energetic catalyst for others energetically around me that change. Just for the good energy that comes off us. Not always, it can be difficult some days, but that's life. But to be, I hate the word authentic because I never used to understand it, but I think I'm starting to experience what that is. But to be your vibrancy, to be your own musical essence without wanting to change that person, just being the flower, vibrant. Because I don't think a flower goes, oh, I don't know, maybe I need to say this for that person, maybe I need to say that for that person, maybe I need to change my head over here, or maybe I need, whatever, it's looked down, I don't know. It's just a flower in its beauty. It knows that in nature it has a very specific, precise purpose, being that flower of the masculine or the feminine that will connect with bees, butterflies, and insects to pollinate a certain other flower, a certain other tree, that it holds its own authentic right as that individual flower. Something to learn from the flower there. And I believe that now. And I haven't always believed that. It's been actually one of the very, very things that I would hate to have believed all the times when I was drinking, is that I am exactly the way I'm meant to be. In all of its multicoloured, funky glory, in all of its pain, in all of its sorrow, in all of its joy, in all of its assignment. I am created to be as authentic as the flower and not to be something else, because I have a very defined purpose. And I accept that in a way I never used to. I never used to accept it. I sort of begrudgingly thought this could be possible. And I now probably believe it more that it's right. It's still not always a line of think, but then I am slightly pessimistic. I think a good healthy dose of salt keeps me a bit more balanced, because I'm one of these people that I'd dive into the wishing well and never want to come up. A partner once said to me, David, you live more in the other world than you do this world sometimes. And I was like, yeah, totally love that idea. Yeah. You have to be both part of one and the other in order to be a bridge between life of other, of spirit, in order life into matter. I did some really interesting work the other day with a mirror, and it's a way that I have been able to meet my spirit guides, and it was a real honor to move to a different place with that practice and to see two spirit guides, shadow on left and right of me, and it explained sometimes the complexity of who I am sometimes. And I don't know if I've actually always been this sort of complex, diverse, multifaceted person that's able to change and adapt to different environments. I've often wondered, is a part of the confusion I've had around my sexuality, is this fluid stance of who I am connected to this in recent times. That with being autistic, I am sort of like, in a sense, like a multi-adapter of different frequencies. Theoretical this is, but what it does is I'm open to be able to mix with energy differently. I don't know if this is right with my guides, but to see them both there, and it made sense, though I've not worked it out, all of it. The piece in the jigsaw puzzle, which is the image they've just shown me and tapped on my head, it's like there's a face there now, or something historical linked to that now. And yeah, I know that's, but yeah, I'm not allowed to say. It's just hi Dole. You know, it's experiences like that that affirm the path that I'm on, because I've tried organisations. I've experienced that part and that development of living within a religious household and in a vicarage, and working through the calendar of the church cycle. I've experienced that of AA and of other faiths in past lives, and a part I feel of this journey is to do this different walk of one's own path, one's own discovery, one's own search, to be crossing and weaving in the different threads of other religions, other cultures, to grow a faith and a quantity of knowledge which is above one defined religion, a creation of more than one entity, and seeing the diversity crisscrossing and strands of how these helix together and make the beautiful cosmotic connection of a whirlpool up to space, up to the creation of energy. I don't know where that one was going. But it reminds me of from a meditation that I did quite some time ago about that links to something I read recently about Atlantis and a Kadawa dual energy, is that the Atlanteans were from Mars, and they were working on the concept of planetary energy and planetary planetary consciousness, planet something like that. Awaken planetary consciousness, something there. I'm just dipping in and out of something. And it's that how the energies of the cosmos work, how instead of being just concerned with a world, our world, but to see how the interactions of other worlds have on ours. So if you look at astrology, that links in with energetically with how the planet alignment then affects us on this planet. If you look at, if you go back behind sort of angels, behind Pluto, behind different gods, that they are linked to the energetic energies of the planets. And when you grow your perception beyond an earthly, I hope I'm getting some earthly consciousness to a planetary consciousness. But what I was really thinking about is the image that they showed me is of how one planet is energetically linked to another planet, and how it actually looks like organic matter, a cellular organic matter in an energetic form, and actually that it grows out like a plant, like the geometric plant structures, and that's how actually the planets sort of, I don't know if they communicate or the way that they're combined. And as we went further out in this meditation, I saw it differently to very, very, very small. Our planet is in regards to the cosmos and the interconnecting energetic flows. Planet consciousness, I keep forgetting what the word is, but you know, it's a really interesting, different it's a different form of intuitive, I don't know if it is right, that intuitive teaching, but it's a very different style of receiving teaching. The way that you know, that meditation was done months ago, good over 6 months ago, I think. 3 to 4 maybe, actually, yeah. 3 to 4, that's my meditation alarm. So yeah, so I'm going to honour that by going and saying goodbye. But thank you if you've logged on and you've listened to this and just catching up with us. And thank you for all the support and all the likes and shares that you might be doing or might have done. You know, I really appreciate that support, that honouring of this energetic output and the feedback of knowing that it's been received is awesome. Thank you guys, and please feel free to add me on Facebook. It's David Soul-Gounder. I always have a page. Find it very similar through that name, and also www.soulgardener.co.uk, and I'm based in Blackpool. And please feel free. I do long distance Reiki. I will talk to you about my spiritual path, my awakening, things that I've looked into and tried. I do oracle card readings to help bring guidance and support spiritually, mentally, and physically. So yeah, just a really, really changing time at the moment, and just very grateful to all of the people and places and things and energies that have helped me get to this point today. And yeah, take care, and hopefully see you guys soon. So take care, God bless, have an awesome one.